Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I am here with Jeffrey Howard of The Report. We're going to do a little bit of talking about the claiming show to raise funds for our legal system and for horseplay. And Jeffrey, you and I have talked about this quite
Yes.
a bit. I think the whole idea is based around raising funds without people donating. This way, everybody wins.
Yeah, I think as you presented it to me, I think it's a good idea in terms of everybody gets to participate. You give money, you raise money without us just asking people, will you write us a check to the legal fund? So anything that we can do like that, I think the event last Tuesday was that same way to start off the 4 shows. It's just an opportunity for everybody to participate that may otherwise not.
Well, I know we're looking at requiring every horse to enter the celebration in order to be in it. So if you purchase a horse at this sale on the 31st, it's ready to go to the celebration. Now, my question is, if I sell a horse and say Mr. B buys it for his granddaughter to show, will the celebration allow him to?
If the horse is previously entered, on record as being entered, they'll be able to do that, yes.
All right, now that was a key thing.
So they wouldn't be able post deadline to, but they obviously won't be able to be at this show if they're not already entered in the horse show.
Now, the entry dates are online, I believe, the 13th through the 22nd.
Correct.
All right.
22nd is kind of the deadline. Yeah,
All right.
22nd. Yep.
Well, what can they expect if, say, they decide on the 25th that they're going to enter it in the celebration and enter it in the sale?
So we'll allow them to be in there on the 22nd deadline.
All right.
I think there is a late deadline on the 29th.
Right.
And so, but if they're entering our show and your show right there for this purpose to help the legal fund, we have no problem. No different. We do it for the maidens at the International. They don't know by the time that class ends, the deadline has passed. So same deal that we provide the maiden with. Be happy to do that.
Well, that's good, because I'm just hoping a lot of people decide to, hey, like I feel it's a win-win for everybody. And I'm hoping trainers and owners both do. I know I've talked to a few owners that say, hey, I've got 1, 2, or 3, and I've got a couple that I know I'm going to enter one a couple of times at celebration that I'll probably enter in this sale. But it's I think it'll all go for a good thing, and we're only charging $60 entry fee.
Okay.
Now, 30 of that will go to the DQP, so they're only paying $30 entry fee. But there is, if they sell the horse, and I've got it down that within 45 days of the show, that they will pay 5% to the show, which will go for the legal fund and for horseplay. Now, here comes the big question. We just filed a suit,
Yes, sir.
and a lot of people have asked me different questions about the suit, especially the injunction part. So can you explain to the people?
Sure, I'll be happy to. So we put out a press release about the lawsuit, but I'll just talk about the preliminary injunction because it's seeking the same things that the lawsuit is. So on Thursday, I believe, of last week, we filed for the preliminary injunction. We are the plaintiffs of Tom Gold, Ann Mills, and the celebration. The injunction seeks 3 things. First would be that the USDA, as we all know, adopted a policy, not a rule. I didn't go through rulemaking, that in 2010, that if your horse is turned down the first day of the show, that it is turned down for the entire 11 days. And so we are challenging that and are seeking a preliminary injunction that would force the government to rescind that policy. The second thing is the SCAR rule. I don't think it's a secret to the government, to anyone involved in this. There are issues with the SCAR rule. Their own study said as such. The judge in the rulemaking suit that we brought in North Texas also said that there's an issue with it when they tried to fix it. So I think the government is aware there's an issue with the SCAR rule. We are definitely aware through the years. You've done a lot on your show about the SCAR rule, and if you think about it this way, Jerry, the SCAR rule was changed both last year and then back to how it was previously this year. So we are challenging the SCAR rule and the ability for there to be a SCAR rule violation under this SCAR rule as part of this. And then also due process, that there would have to be pre-deprivation due process provided to you as a horse owner before the government deprives you of your ability to show your horse. So they can come up with that system, right? A hearing, a system of independent review, whatever it may be. But currently, again, we've already won this in the lawsuit when we challenged the rulemaking, that post-deprivation due process is not sufficient. They have to provide pre-deprivation. That point of deprivation is disqualification at the show. Right. So even though the government is telling show management what to do, it is still the government has to provide you as a horse owner due process before they issue that. So it goes to those 3 points, and I think something that's important, and I know you've been on this point forever, is we're not seeking to get away from oversight or regulation or sound horses, but we do want it to be fair. And we do want it to be the same processes that other breeds are afforded, and the rights that they have, and the types of inspections that they have. So again, this isn't, I hope this isn't spun as they're trying to get away from. No, we're the most regulated horse.
That's right.
Every single horse is inspected pre-show, will be this year, no matter whether that injunction is granted or not, right? They are inspected by both licensed industry inspectors as well as the opportunity to be inspected by government inspectors behind. And then if you win, you're guaranteed to get inspected coming out. So again, this isn't about eliminating inspection. It's not about trying to get around the rules. It's trying to have fair rules.
Well, if you go back and look, we had no show back because of their incompetence, not ours. Mm-hmm. They couldn't tell one horse if they turned it down now, 5 minutes later pasture. So they come up with no show back. Mm-hmm. Then they say, well, we'll prove her right. We'll give you a second opinion. And then when Baker and Sutherland got into their argument about which one was right and which one was wrong, from that point on, we didn't have no second opinion. So everything they've done, in my opinion, is to cover their incompetence. So by showing, not allowing showbacks, they cost the celebration, they cost the trainer, they cost the owner, they cost everybody except themselves.
Yeah.
With showback now, your entries, I'm hoping celebration entries will be way up, mm-hmm. and people will get to show their horse.
Yeah, I think 100%. You know, I think on that no showback, it is important to point out to people that may be watching that think, well, I mean, if it was out, why is it? No, they would still have to pass inspection. So they're still not allowing a horse to show. It is because of how subjective it is, because of statistics that we've had. And Jerry, I think, you know, the government at times, we have, in my time of dealing with this and the HIO business, we've had leadership at USDA that we can and do want to work with and wants to work with us, and we've had those that don't. And it's a very different thing. And so I think one of the reasons, both for the USDA as well as us, we need a more objective way to determine what is and what is not, so that we don't ride the roller coaster of that. But again, I say, you know, that level of variance, we want to eliminate it for our own DQPs, right, as well as for VMOs. We really just want a fair system. But again, I think the no showback, I mean, the act itself, I mean, you're only to disqualify a horse that is sores, not one that's gonna be 4 days from now, or one that was 5 days previously. And on that no showback, as we all know, most of our horse shows are different horse shows.
Yeah.
So previously, you could get turned down on Thursday night at Jerry Harris's horse show and show back on Friday night at Jeffrey Howard's horse show, and if they passed you, you got to show. Right. So it's really, I mean, we're asking.
It's being ethical and open. I mean,
right.
And that's it, because we all know that a horse at any time, mm-hmm. and we've done this. I had, back several years ago, I had the head DQP at the time, Mitchell Butler. I said, I want you to come check this horse. He checks the horse. Horse moves. He said, now what you want me to do? I said, I want you to wait just a minute and check him again. Mm-hmm. he could have beat that horse with a stick, and it never moved, and the horse never moved from the position he was in.
Right.
But I noticed that every time, the first time that we palpated, he'd always want to move. But if you come right back and palpate, he wouldn't. There wasn't nothing wrong with him. It's just, I guess, a habit
Right.
or
Yeah.
whatever.
And like I said, I think that's what we're after is just, again, fairness, objective measures, and a little bit of common sense. We've looked at, as you can imagine, through these lawsuits as well as opportunities to sit down and talk to veterinarian organizations or horse organizations. We've looked at every other inspection process that's out there. No one has a, if you move one time, you're out. You know, no one does. I mean, there's reviews. You take FEI, we sat down with some of their inspectors, and I mean, they have 3 people have to agree that a horse is out, and not 3 people that are watching each other, right? I mean, and they discuss, it's just, again, I think there's a better system out there. We know there's a better system out there, and that's all we want.
Well, I've always believed, and some people will agree and some won't, that if you really want to know, don't palpate him. Put a 4-ounce action device on him. If he walks off, he's ready to go. If he has trouble, he's out.
Right.
And I don't think any trainer or anybody else, oh, we ain't doing that. I mean, it tells the story, so it's good.
Locomotion is a big part of it, and should be, first of all, is a part of inspection.
That is.
But it's not exactly got the emphasis placed on it. I think that it should, as an equal part to palpation, scar, equipment, all of the things that they look for, right? Locomotion should, but I think in some respects, unless it's bad, it gets no credit, if that makes
Right.
sense. You know what I'm saying?
It does.
And people say that all the
You
time.
gotta watch
Locomotion can keep you out of the ring, it can't help you put you in the ring,
Right.
right? But to your point, what you're saying is a veterinarian or a knowledgeable horseman would say, hey, or locomotion is going to tell you equally as much, if not more, than some of the other tests that we're doing. So again, all part of what we're after as well.
We want honest inspections and straightforward, and I believe if we achieve everything we're after right now, we'll get them.
I believe so.
Now, I'm hoping, and I'm getting back to the sale now,
Okay.
or the claiming show, I'm hoping the trainers will look at what we're trying to do and say, hey, this is a win for everybody involved, let's get involved. And some of these horses that we could sell at the claiming show could very well, they're already in celebration. I told Jerry I'd love to see one of them sell at our sale and go up there and win. I mean,
Yes.
Bob Adcock traded for a load of sawdust, and he's got a world champion out of it. So there it is.
There you go.
I
So
appreciate
good luck
it.
to you on that show. And like I said, celebration, the report, we're happy to help in any way.
I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. You got it.